Let's see what we got going on here. This is a decent opener. Really like this Acolyte of Affliction. It's a solid card. Very solid card. Okay, looks like could be rogues right off the rip from what I see here. Okay, go ahead and crack that land, my friend. See what comes out. Yeah, more than likely this is rogue mill, mono blue mill, something like that. Well, I was hoping to see something right there that we could play early, but oh, not seen that played. Oh, okay. This is way off the charts from what I was expecting. This could be blue-white control. Yeah, I think that's what we got going on here. He's in there holding up the counter spells on me. Let's see what he's got against this. Hard slam a Polykranos if he doesn't have a counter spell. Could be that he snatches it with a Brazen Borrower too, puts it back in my hand. I have a feeling it's a counter spell though. If he tries to snatch it with the Brazen Borrower, again, we'll just sack it for food. It's a 1-for-1 at that point. Oh, okay. Could have countered it, but instead he wants to see more cards. So I suppose that'll be okay. Possibly has an Elspeth Conquers Death here. Which, if he does, I'm okay with. We've seen this before. Yeah, it's fine. He has nothing in the yards. That's pretty pointless. I think what we'll do here is go ahead and slam the Acolyte of Affliction. We will return that land. Well, let's take the Fabled Passage just because I think that ultimately that'll be a little bit better off. And then he drops a. Yeah, that's fine. They can all cost 2 more. I'm going to play creatures anyway. Confounding Conundrum. And I go, well, Fabled Passage now feels bad here. But we also have Elder Gargaroth. We could slam in that spot instead. So. I don't want to play into Shatter the Sky here, necessarily. Because you get no value out of that. But same time, I don't know. It's really not too bad. We'll swing here, see what we get out of that. We'll try a Slam an Elder Gargaroth here. I'll tell you what, the thing I love about playing food variants of any deck is the fact that cards like Elspeth Conquers Death are pretty pointless at that point. You just like, I'm going to sack this off and fuel myself. Yes, sirree, sack away. Dream Trawler also feels pretty bad, to be honest. But, I mean, of course, this can deal with Dream Trawler, but if he counters and then plays a Dream Trawler, that's also bad. Yeah, you got that. It's interesting tech. I like this card. I'm a big proponent of that in Sultai, because if you played Back for More with this, it's fun. Yeah. It's another good combination, like, just be able to pull it out of the graveyard with that. We don't have enough black to do both Blood Chiefs and Murderous Riders, so I think what I do on my turn is I leave up a blocker, because we can always sack it for food if he counters, but we'll attempt a Murderous Rider, try and get a counter spell out, and then we'll go from there. So, but that's a good play on his part. This is a good top deck. Slam the Scrack Maw, and he's also another free blocker that we can pull off. We'll see what he does here at the end of turn. He's got enough that he could escape a Glimpse of Freedom here. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Just free card draw. It's fine. Do your thing, my friend. Do your thing. Thirst for Meaning. So this is, I guess, the combination here. Elspeth Conquers Death with things like Thirst of Meaning and Waker of the Waves, which is, it's a solid option. I really like it. Um, but ultimately, right now, it's not putting a whole lot of pressure on me, so I don't feel too bad about it. We'll just go ahead and play the Murder Strider, see if he responds. Yeah, he's going to actually counter this, which is fine. Yeah. Like, we're okay at this point. We got plenty to do. And the more he counters, it just allows us to Polykranos out of the yard. Continue to make food. If we hit a Trail of Crumbs, then we just start adding to our hand. And decks like his play a lot of lands. There's a big possibility that he's got all this land in his hand, nothing to do with it. So we'll see. Can't Jwari this disruption this, so he's got to play something else altogether. And we can also just leave up our dudes, crack food in order to gain life. And then the pressure off of the Waker of the Waves isn't that bad. There we go. So he either doesn't have a counterspell or didn't want to play a counterspell right there. Either way, it's fine with me. May want to get a draw. He may be sitting on a bunch of lands. Yeah, I think he's going to exile and draw again. So Cling to Dust will be really good, because I can just eat these out of the graveyard next round. Or whatever he targets with Elspeth Conquers Death. So, we're set up really well on that. Yeah, draw your cards, my friend. Sad that he's not focused on the game. Adds a whole lot of just sitting around. Oh well. Yeah, that's more of what along the lines I expected from him was Dream Trawler at some point to try and out the board state or give him a solid board state. He's holding up a counterspell here. He probably wins this outright with that. We'll go ahead and try this, and if he counters, then we'll just scoop our cards. There's nothing we can do about the Dream Trawler at this point. Yeah, that's what I thought. You got that, my friend. I like Jwari Disruption. Very good counterspell. Put in a couple Necromancia, put in these, put in the Crack Pate. I think we just go ham. Blood Chiefs is pretty pointless at this time. Take the Acolyte out, take out the Elder Gargaroth. He's got answers for all of that. He can't Elspeth Conquers at the Crag Plate, forces to shatter the sky, so that's good. I want Necromancia because it deals with the it really deals well with the Dream Trawler. You just don't even have to worry about it after you cast it. But at the same time, like Polykranos is the same thing. You just fight. And if they discard, I mean, hey, they're discarding cards. You're losing nothing. Take Vivian out here. Take down a Guruk, because really, Crag Plate will be the menacing card for this person. And then I guess we'll take out a Grakmal. Should be solid after that. So this is going to boil down to who has what. If I can get a Cling to Dust early, then we'll be solid. This is good. Yeah, I like this. I mean, we got really solid curve here. Agonizing Remorse on 2, Necromancia on 3, and we'll take away all his options. Dream Trawler is pretty much his big win con here. Alright, what counter spells you got? Mystical Dispute, don't care. That's Neat, don't care. Glimpse of Freedom. I think Glimpse of Freedom. I don't care about this other stuff, but yeah, we'll take the Glimpse of Freedom. Because really, he wants to turn 2, draw a card. And so now, he either drew a counterspell, like Jwari Disruption, or we go into Necromancia, he has no Dream Trawlers. That's going to make it really hard for him to play this game at that point. Let's see what happens. Yep, no counterspells. Well, I can't spell today. We'll just Do that. Okay, Thirst for Meaning. We'll take all 3 of these out. You have no answers now. And we've got a Castle Lochthwain, so if in his turn he plays the counterspell, I could care less. We'll just do this. That way, if he... Yeah, exactly. And then we'll throw this down. He can counter it if he wants to. I could care less. Honestly, he kind of needs to, because Llanowar Visionary gives me mana. Yeah, and draws me a card, so yeah, I didn't think he was going to let me get by with that. That's fine. We just keep throwing cards on the board until we win this game, because at this point, no Dream Trawler. That's his main win con, and we've got double Crag Plate in hand, so all we've got to do at this point is hit 7 lands and just start swinging. Force to Shatter the Sky on one of them. I mean, at this point, he draws, he has to discard 2 unless he lands an enchantment and wants to discard it, which is not necessarily going to be the case. Alright, that's good. Play that next turn. Draw your cards. Yes, sir. And this, I mean, yeah, it's he could discard this. I didn't even think about that. I don't think he does, though. I think he holds on to this because he's worried about certain cards in my deck. Loses all abilities, like, that's pretty good. But he may. No, he got rid of lands. He must be struggling. So we're at 5 mana now, technically. We can throw down the Trail of Breadcrumbs and still have mana to do everything else. That's also helpful. Got plenty of black. I think I'll throw another green in here. Well, I got plenty of green too. Just throw another black down. Can't play, because this is also green. So, like, he really wants to counter this, I think. But he'd have to have a solid counter spell. Now that we've got the mana to crack and draw, I'm just going to swing. Go ahead and try to put pressure on him. He can create a 1/1 here, but it's kind of pointless. He's going to have to Shatter the Sky when I drop this Crag Plate, and it's possibly coming down next turn should I see a land. And I got chance to see a land off 3 cards with just these 2. Yeah, you got that 1/1. That's fine. Do your thing, my friend. 1/1 does you 0 good. Yeah, I'm okay with all this. We're in a really good spot here. Alright, we'll crack this. Pay that. Take the land. Don't need a 3rd Crag Plate. Got 2. Gain 3 life. Take my turn. Boom. Boom! Boys, this is 6 damage. He can't stop. We're gonna crack this guy real hard right here. And he's forced to Shatter the Sky on his turn. Well, I mean, he can stop it. I guess he could Castle Ardenvale and then just trade off. That's fine with me. That is totally cool with me. We'll sack the Llanowar. We'll leave this. We'll draw a card off of his Shatter. He'll get nothing for it. But, I mean, this burns his whole turn. He has to burn a whole turn, then play Shatter, and get 0. He gets nothing for it. That feels really solid right there. We'll take that all day. And then next turn we're back at 7 mana. And we've already sacked this, so we can do something to draw. Sack that off. Get the draw off the Crag Plate. That's a Polycranos. We slam that, boys! Good luck. I hope you have a counterspell. You're gonna need it. With 1? Nah. I don't think that's happening. Can't Jawari Disruption this, my friend. Now he can throw this down. We'll just sack it. See, I think he flashes this in, which is fine. Again. Oh, that's fine too. I'm okay with that as well. He has no Dream Trawler, so that's not even an option at this point. That's fine. We're about to crack back with a 6/6 that he can do nothing about. We've put plenty of food on the table and plenty of draw potential with this. And crack him for 6 here. Let's just try and see the top card. Oh, beautiful. So that way next turn, whenever he goes to take his card out of the yard, he can't do anything. Let's crack this guy. Boom. 2 turns, my friend. You got 2 turns to find answers for this. The best part about having this in my hand is when he targets, right? Right here, he targets. It's going to cost 1 because this will turn to 3. And then we'll cast this for 1. If he counters it, we got enough cards in the yard. We just turn around and cast it out of the yard too. So counter away, my friend. Counter away. Crack for 6 here. Yeah, spend all your mana, dude. And that's the thing. He's forced to leave mana open just to block the crack plate. So, alright, so we'll hold full control here. Cling to dust. And he can counter. Perfectly okay. He didn't. So we'll let that go. Now we've got Cling to Dust and Polykranos in the yard. He's got to leave open 5 mana just for this. So you've dedicated 5 mana to 1 land, and that prevents you from playing other cards. Check this out. We're going to draw. Then we're going to crack. Take that Land of War Visionary. It's a really good card. Now we've got pressure. This is a lot of pressure. Drop this Land of War Visionary, see what he does. Alright, sweet. Alright, let's crack him for 6. Force him to pay 5 mana. Yeah, that's what I thought. No Dream Trawler. And immense amount of pressure that he can't target with the crack plate. So the Shadow of the Sky was his only option, and he didn't have one at that point. Alrighty then. Kind of worked out the way we wanted it to. The only other thing he may have that I don't really have an answer for in the main board is a Shark Typhoon, which of course we'd need the wilts for, but don't know that that's what he's going to do. It doesn't seem like it seems like he may have cards missing that he'd really like to play. If we see another Necromancia, we can definitely call the Shark Typhoon. But I liked everything else that we had, so we'll just keep rolling with this. He gets the Shark Typhoon and just goes off on us. Not much I can do about it, but I'm not putting in a card that, like Wilt, that I'm not 100% sure that I'll need at this point because I haven't seen in 2 games a single Shark Typhoon. I don't think that's his strategy, and he didn't really have space for it in his deck, so instead he's playing the Waker of Waves and Thirst for Meaning with Dream Trawler and other ways of getting it out on the board. So the idea of the deck is I discard Dream Trawler to get on the trigger of Elspeth Conquers Death or Waker of the Waves. That's really what he's doing. So it's a blue-white control reanimator variant of some sort, which I really think he could have done better with, like Sultai. Really, Back for War is just, in my opinion, so much more. But it'd be all right. This is still a good build on his part. I see what he's got going on here. I bet you that 2-drop enchantment came out of his deck real fast after that. This is solid. If it gets countered, feels bad. But we'll keep this. Because we still got the top end here. We'll scry. See what we got on top. I'm okay with that. That gives us turn 1, 2, and 3. See if he's got the counter spell. He does not. Either that or he just chose not to use it. He's definitely got the draw spell. Or the Waker. That's fine too. So we'll throw this down next turn, unless we hit a land. Yeah, we'll throw this down. Do the Agonizing Remorse. And then we'll set up our food. So we'll crack the Fabled Passage, we'll play the Witch's Oven, and then we'll Land of War Visionary. That was really good for us. Like, yeah, you totally got that. Actually, we're gonna Agonizing Remorse, and we're gonna Witch's Oven. Another black source. Please and thank you. Can't Jawari Disruption here, so it's either got to be another Mystical Dispute, He has no mana for hard counter spells. Yeah, dude, draw first and then let me see your hand. I'm fine with. Absolutely. Yeah, we take the Dream Trawler. I'm okay with you drawing cards. I'm not okay with Dream Trawler. Right now we don't have an answer for it, so we just keep it out. He's gonna Thassa's probably at the end of turn. We're almost to a Crag Plate here. Go ahead and land War, see if he wants to go ahead and draw or counter. He'd have to pay 4 mana to counter with Thassa's. Alrighty, we'll pass turn. I'm not too concerned about the board state just yet. We hit a land, we Crag Plate. He does not currently have Shadow the Sky unless that's what that is. He's gonna get 2 off the top plus a draw for his turn. So we'll see what this looks like. He does have the Castle Ardenvale, but again, if I Crag Plate and he's forced to use this to block, like, pretty sweet, in my opinion. Okay, we did not see that. Let's go ahead and swing. Nope, I don't want to swing. I just want to cast this because we can crack this. All right, that is what we wanted to see. Should have played this first. If we'd seen this, we could have just swung, but it'll be all right. I think here he's going to draw probably the Thirst for Meaning to see what he can get off the top. That's even better. He's down to 2 Dream Trawlers because we used the Necromancer last time. We saw that he had double Dream Trawler or triple Dream Trawler in the deck, which is good. But that still leaves 2 Dream Trawlers in 38 cards possibly, or what's in his hand, so 2, 5. He's got 8 cards now, plays a land, passes his turn, we'll crack and see what we can get off the top. This is definitely coming down next turn though. We'll resolve that. What's your target? So yeah, now we can definitely Crag Plate. Go ahead and add a card to hand. We're not under a lot of pressure right now, and we're about to put him under a ton of pressure. Really want the land at this point. We got plenty of spot here. We got the Castle Ardenvale for the draws. You can't stop this. This is going to be just straight damage to the face. Because he didn't leave mana open for this. Like, he has to have Shatter the Sky here to answer the Crag Plate, or he puts a Dream Trawler on the board. And even if he puts a Dream Trawler on the board, I can still put a ton of pressure on him, forcing a swing. Then if he leaves Dream Trawler up, we can always just Murderous Rider. But I have a feeling what we'll probably see is that he does have a Shatter the Sky, because he's seen a bunch of cards. He's probably running 4 of Shatter the Sky, so we'll probably see a Shatter the Sky, which doesn't hurt me. It doesn't hurt my feelings. My feelings will be okay if he shatters here. Yeah, we'll sack this boy off. Get us a food, which will produce another card with the Trello Crumbs. Oh, gorgeous. Unless this man has a hard counter, we're about to take his Dream Trawlers out of his deck and end this thing. He has to have a hard counter. Well, I guess we don't have enough mana if he does have a Mystical Dispute or another Thassa's. But, wait, does Thassa? No, we got the mana for Thassa. Mystical Dispute's the only thing he can do here. Yep, and he happened to have it, sure. That's fine. Right now, it's just Waker of the Waves, which we can answer. But if there's a Dream Trawler behind it, then we're in trouble. I don't think he has it, though. Yeah, he didn't have it. Alright, so we do this, play the Rackmaw, and we pass our turn. He probably makes a 1/1, or he might draw 2 cards. He could draw 2 cards here. Ah, that Necromancer, if that went off, I think it sealed the game up. There's not too much he can do at that point. Yeah, draw you a card. Draw you a card, my friend. Draw you another card. Alright, we kill it now. Do you have a 3rd or is it 4th Mystical Dispute? Nope. Answer's no. Sweet. That took that pressure off. Now we just don't want to see the He might thirst for meaning here too. He's really trying hard to see the Dream Trawler. Oh, he's just gonna use the Glimpse of Freedom again. Sure. He's gonna have 8 cards at the start of his turn. That's pretty good. 29 cards. Good chance he has his a second Dream Trawler at this point. I guess not. Otherwise, he would have slammed it. Go to my turn. Throw this down. Alright, we're going to keep him trying to answer board state. You got the counter spell, my friend? Thirst for meaning, yes sir. He's at 11 life. We can resolve anything big. We can pretty much take the game home here. Another crack plate would also be a solid option as well. Did you get the counterspell? The hard counterspell? Because your mystical disputes at this point do nothing. Yeah, you got that too. He has no counterspells. See, the deck is really themed around this whole draw and discard concept. So it's hard for him to play counterspells, and he's already played, I think, 2 of his Thasses. Yeah, there's 2 Thasses right there, 2 mystical disputes, so that's 4. He didn't have it.
Watch out. These woods.
So at this point, the only thing he can do is Elspeth Conquers Death. He'll play a draw spell here. Yep, Thirst for Meaning. Watch out now. He's getting low on cards, so even if he did resolve Dream Trawler, if we can somehow keep our life total up, he could draw out just because Dream Trawler forces the trigger every single time. So if we can force him to tap down his Dream Trawler and some other things like that, like this game goes our way really fast at that point. Elspeth Conquers Death here, best card he has in this situation. I know he's played 1. Does he have 2 in here? No, just 1. I mean, there's a good chance. Unless he was just very unlucky and somehow in 19 cards, there's 3 more Elspeth Conquers Death, or he just does not have that many copies in his deck. Shatter the Sky. We do this one. Because the Grackmaw will come right back. And now we can bomb Gurk. So that way, even if he does Elspeth Conquers Death, we just... we have 6/6. Oh, man. Alright, so this guy may not have enough invested into getting what he needs here. Yeah, I think we go for the enchantment. Just start adding more cards to hand. At this point, if we can match him for cards in hand, we're in good Oh, now that's pretty big bomb right there. This is
mighty.
This is anti-Dream Trawler right here.
Hungry.
We completely solve the Dream Trawler problem if this resolves. Oh, just so good. That's so good. Like, he's in a big pickle now. Alrighty, Treller Crumbs. Because we still have the mana to fight here. If he counters this, I just let it die. Like, just good for you, bro. You countered it. I want to leave up the mana to fight, because we can just force the Dream Trawler down. No, you got that. Go ahead. You can have it, my friend. I have no qualms about that at all. Like, at this point, we've taken... That's 3 mystical disputes, 2 Thasses. The man is down to 19 cards in the deck. A Dream Trawler is his only out here, and even a Dream Trawler is not the greatest answer. You've got 5 life. I've got 15 damage on the board. We're sitting pretty. Shatter? Yes, sir. You got that. Get us a couple foods here. We'll just keep adding cards to hand. Like, we've maintained so much value out of all of this. And we're putting 5/5 wolves on the board, so like, what's it matter? You can shatter all day. Yeah, we'll take another Treller Crumbs. Boy, we're going to get so much value. At this point, I don't really have to cast anything, but the Polykranos is just honestly, it's the end of the game for him. He has no answers for this, then he just loses straight up. And we've got 3 more cards in yard. He's got Thassus now if he has it. Jawari Disruption? Yeah, I'll pay for that too. You got another one? Wow, we just burned 4 cards out of the man's hand, and we're going to put 2 5/5 wolves on the board. What do you do about that? What do you do about that? Excuse me. Good game, my friend. Yeah,